The long trail to the marble halls. Long before Caves Highway was paved, long before the Chateau rose from the ravine, reaching the Oregon Caves meant something closer to an expedition than a vacation. In 1915, that spirit of adventure carried one small family up the rugged Grayback Creek corridor, the very trail that would one day become Caves Highway, on a journey most modern visitors would find hard to imagine. Sam Baker walked the entire trail from Grayback Camp himself, roughly 8 miles, mile after mile over steep, rocky ground, through thick stands of Douglas fir and past sweeping mountain views that stretched toward the Siskiyous. Meanwhile, his wife Sophia and their 4-year-old daughter Connie rode together on a single rented mule, picking their way along the winding creekside trail. There was no smooth highway beneath them, only a rough dirt track shared with deer, black bears, and the occasional startled grouse bursting from the brush. The air would have smelled of pine needles and warm dust, and the only sounds were hooves on rock, water rushing over stones in Grayback Creek, and perhaps Sam's own footsteps keeping pace beside them. This was not a trip taken lightly. It was a full day's commitment, there and back again, with no overnight stop and no guarantee of comfort along the way. Yet families like the Bakers made this journey anyway, driven by stories of glittering marble chambers hidden deep inside the mountain, chambers that visitors were already calling the Marble Halls of Oregon. At the cave entrance, the family met their guide, Dick Rowley, a name that would remain tied to the Oregon Caves for decades to come. By candlelight, young Connie became the youngest person on record to explore the cave, walking where the light from a single, flickering candle revealed towering stone columns and passages carved by water over the years. The Baker's journey captures something essential about the earliest visitors to Oregon Caves. They were not tourists expecting comfort. They were pioneers of curiosity, willing to walk for hours, ride rented mules along a rough mountain trail, and risk a long, tiring day, all for the chance to stand inside one of Oregon's most extraordinary natural wonders. A look back, visiting Oregon Caves in 1919. The following is adapted from an article published in the Grants Pass Daily Courier on July 29, 1919, titled, Information for Tourists Who Desire to Visit Oregon Caves. This practical guide gave visitors instructions for reaching the caves at a time when no roads led to the entrance and no lodging existed on site. In 1919, visiting the Oregon Caves took real planning. There was no easy drive to the entrance back then. Tourists had two choices, a route through Williams or a route through Holland. Those taking the Williams route rode a stagecoach from Grants Pass, then walked or rode the final 10 miles by trail. The Holland route required a 6-mile trail after the road ended near Grimmett's Ranch. No hotels or restaurants waited at the caves. Visitors had to arrange food and lodging in advance, either camping in the woods or staying at a nearby ranch. A bed cost about 50 cents, and a rented horse for the round trip cost around $3.50. Inside the cave, visitors relied on candlelight to see the marble formations. The article urged people to bring their own candles and wear old clothes, since the passages were tight and damp. It even advised women to wear trousers instead of dresses for the rugged terrain. From trail to highway, a new era begins for decades. Reaching the Oregon Caves demanded grit, on foot, on horseback, by wagon, by stagecoach, each visitor earning their view of the marble halls through miles of rugged trail. But by the early 1920s, everything was about to change. The automobile age was sweeping the nation, and visits to the Oregon Caves stood on the verge of exponential growth. Far to the south, the Redwood Empire Association was already at work, uniting Northern California business interests behind a bold vision, a paved Redwood Highway stretching all the way from San Francisco to Grants Pass. Local businessmen, along with Sam Baker, saw their moment and seized it, forming the Oregon Caves Resort Company in 1923, later to become the Oregon Caves Company, with a vision for lodging and resort-style amenities that would make the caves a true destination resort. Ahead lay an even bigger dream, a paved caves highway linking Oregon's marble wonder and a destination resort as part of the Redwood Empire.